Hey Sam, I'm going riding. Huh? You don't care? All right, love you, Sam. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I gotta go get a couple of things done today. Why don't you come along with me? Hey Sophie. Unfortunately, I don't ride 2 up, so you guys are gonna have to ride back here. It's okay though, we'll stop before the air runs out. Hey, you can ride back here with Poopy. Okay, first stop today was over at Quantico Harley-Davidson. Had to pick up a couple of, or actually a set of black bolts I ordered for the derby cover. So we'll throw these in real quick. Check and see how my friend's doing. Are you doing okay? What? Poopy? Oh my God, dude. How many times have I told you not to be making out with stuff back here? You can't just make out with every Tom, Dick, and GoPro I put back in the case. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, GoPro. You got to wipe a little poop off your lip there. All right. Next stop, just a little bit down the road, so you behave. Oh, that looks badass. Check that out. Man, that's pretty cool. A couple of guys told me the other day that I could have gone to Serrated to order my replacement parts for Sophie. Save some money. Yeah, you know, I know about Serrated, and you're right. I probably could have saved about $40, $50 maybe on stuff that I needed to get. But I like my dealer. My dealer treats me right, you know, and as a small business owner myself, I understand the importance of building relationships with customers and how reliant businesses are, you know, on those relationships. You know, for me, maybe it would be different if I had a shitty dealer, but I don't. I have a great dealer. These guys always make time for me when I come out to answer questions, talk about bikes, talk about stuff I'm thinking about doing to the bike. They were extremely helpful the last few weeks. What's up, man? When it came to me getting all the work done to get Sophie fixed back up, you know, I could have paid them to do all that work and it wouldn't have cost that much. Certainly would have been a lot faster and a lot more efficient, but, you know, I told them, hey, I think I'm going to try to do this myself because, you know, I'd like to get a couple of videos out of it or whatever. And they were really cool with kind of walking me through, this is what you need, this is what you should do. I mean, God, they're just great guys. And for me, that's something that is just extremely valuable, having that type of a relationship. So, you know, if I would have gone in and talked to them and then ordered off Serrated to try to save a little money on parts, yeah, I would have been a douchebag. That's not cool. You know, businesses and their customers have a relationship, and it needs to be a mutual benefiting relationship, and it also needs to be a mutually rewarding relationship with equal commitments on both sides. And that's how I've always tried to approach my relationships with the companies I do business with, as well as with my customers. And you know, while we're on the topic, right now is a really tough time for small business owners. As I'm recording this, it's October 10th, 2020. We're still in the middle of the pandemic. Small businesses across the country, across the world, right, have just been decimated. I know a lot of small business owners, like me, are very committed to their employees and to their customers, and you know, they're doing everything they can to make sure that people don't get laid off, and you know, they've got money coming in to pay the bills, and that they're still going to be here on the other side of the pandemic. But there are a lot of businesses aren't making it. There are a ton of businesses have already shut down. Yeah, I don't think there's any relief in sight. I mean, let's face it, politics aside, the people in power right now in the U.S., their primary concern is hanging on to the power they've got, not taking care of us or making sure that small business owners are taken care of and their employees. Although I've always tried to do everything I can to support local small businesses, you know, for years, I think right now it's more critical than ever. And if we don't do that, you know, we're going to be in trouble down the road, because you're not going to have anybody there locally to support you. It kind of reminds me of camera shops. Back in the day, in the DC area, we had a ton of camera shops, pro shops everywhere. No matter where you live, there was one a few minutes away, and you could go into these pro shops and you could shoot the shit, you could talk gear, you know, those little esoteric little bits of things that you needed, clamps or adapters or mounts or whatever. You know, you go there, and if they didn't have one in the used bin, there was probably one that they could get you that was new. And I mean, it was just a wonderful thing. I used to love to go to camera shops and kill time, just talking photography stuff, trying out new gear. We don't have those shops now. There are very, very few in the area, and it's the same way across the country. You know, they've just gone under. Why? Yeah, you could say it's all because of online sales, and it is to some degree, but there's a much deeper problem there that probably applies to a lot of different small businesses out there. I think one of the biggest challenges, and kind of just a thing about human nature, that camera shops have had to overcome or struggle to overcome on a daily basis, and I'm sure it's more than just camera shops, but you've got customers that come in, and whereas back in the day, if I were interested in, you know, buying a new body or getting a new lens, I'd go in, I'd spend time with the folks that ran the shop and the salespeople, and a lot of times they'd say, hey, take this out for a couple of days and, you know, see what you think about it, and then come back and, you know, if you want to buy it, we'll sell it to you. They were always there to answer questions. We didn't have the internet and the current state that it's in back then, so their camera shops were a key source of resource, just like I think they are right now. But you've got people that will go in to camera shops, ask the staff, can I see this camera? How does this work? I'm trying to do this. What do I need to buy to do that? Do all kinds of crap. They'll spend hours with these people, and then what do? They turn around and they go to Amazon and order a camera or that piece of equipment from Amazon because they can save 20 or 30 bucks. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. And even worse, I've heard stories from folks that work in camera shops that have said, hey, yeah, these people, they actually do that, and then they come back when they have a problem or they can't figure out how to work that piece of gear, and they come in and they bring it in and they say, hey, you know, you guys recommended this and I bought it. I got it from Amazon, but I bought it, and you know, I can't figure this out. Can you help me? That's, God, I mean, you know, that's douchebaggery on a whole nother level for people to do that. So as consumers, as customers, it's up to us to support local businesses and make sure they're still there when we need them in the future. And the way we do that is by giving them our business. Hey, I like to save money as much as anybody else out there. And, you know, I'll work a deal to get the best deal that I can get. But for me, you know, I depend on these people that are out in my community for input, for support. You know, if I've got to run out, maybe I don't have time. Maybe Amazon can't get something to you in 3 days. But your local guy's got it on the shelf. You know, I've worked with companies that maybe they didn't have something, but they knew I needed it, and they had sister stores or other things within, you know, a reasonable distance, and they would have that thing brought in so that I could have it. And in exchange for stuff like that, they have my gratitude and they have my business. So while we're talking about camera shops, let me show you something. If you're in the Northern Virginia, DC area, there's a series of shops called District Camera and Imaging. This is the Burke store here, District Camera. They're one of the best camera shops I've ever dealt with. They treat their customers really nice. They've got a lot of folks there. The people that work there know a lot about cameras. They know a lot about the business. They know a lot about pretty much anything you'd want to know when it comes to photography or videography. Check them out. They've got a website. I'll put the URL here. But if you're in the area and you're near the Burke store or the one in Arlington or the one down in DC, stop by and say hello. They're here to support their customers. They do a great job of it. Support local small business. Peace.